So I don't actually have a brew at all because it's ridiculously hot outside, it's ridiculously hot inside. I haven't put a Coke in the fridge. I've only just got back from going out in Cornwall and I wanted to get a video done. So I haven't actually got a brew, which will probably likely be a sin, but hey ho, I just can't be bothered with it. I'm currently sweating like a paedophile on the playground, Jimmy Savile on a swing, so I'm not going to worry about a brew. I do have glass of water here just in case. Actually, none of my machines are on either. It's completely silent in here. There's nobody else in the house either, so I can talk to my heart's content without having to worry about what an idiot I sound like. I've got quite a few things to talk about over the coming months and podcasts and stuff like that. This is kind of, is it a podcast? It's kind of more of a vlog, I suppose. My Galaxy S3 video is coming. It's filmed, it's done. I just need to put it together and I just haven't really had the time. I do also need to do my IP Fire video as well. I've not really had the time to do that. I've played around with IP Fire. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. It's not as easy to use as Untangle, but we're going to use it. I'm going to give it a good go and a good shot before I pass any judgment on it. At least the developers seem to be quite helpful and handy and good anyway. A bunch of German guys really cool, so hopefully I'm going to try and meet up with them in September, but that's neither here nor there. I actually wanted to talk about emergency power. So, you know, if you're out in the wilderness or something like that and you have the need to try and keep your gadgets charged up and juiced up and things. And this was all because there's been some mentions, they always mention on it, TechZilla pretty much, Revision 3's TechZilla pretty much always mention about emergency power, especially during things like hurricanes and things like that. Obviously the US does get it quite a bit. In the UK we don't really have that. I mean, me as a scout leader, as a youth leader, going camping, going out in the wilderness, I do quite like that a lot. And for me, I still, although there's an element of going out and being away from all the technology and things like that, which is quite nice to do, I still like to be able to be juiced up just in case shit hits the fan, or just in case I need to check Twitter or whatever, or check emails or something like that. And I always have loads of these kicking around. Spare batteries for phones. I have an Android phone, obviously my Galaxy S3. I also have my Desire HD as well. When I had my Desire, when I used to use my Desire HD, I actually bought 5 spare batteries for it, so it would last a long weekend. Now those batteries didn't quite last a day. I used them at Scout Fest, which was an event I did last year, and it was a long event. It was over, I think it was 5 days. Luckily we did have power, but over those 5 days all my batteries actually were dead by the end of it, and I had to charge it up, and actually, in actual fact, it was 5 days and I was charging it up every day, and then I bent the cable in my USB my micro USB charger and I was effed, so I had to use spare batteries. They didn't quite last a day because when you use a smartphone, I was using it a lot. It wasn't quite lasting the day, which was kind of annoying. The other thing I actually have is a Pebble charger, which is I mean this one is called a Pebble charger, and what it basically is it's a battery, and you can charge anything with USB power on it. In actual fact, you can run a Raspberry Pi off this, which is quite cool. It gives you 1000 milliamp power out of, so you get 5 volts, 1000 milliamps of power, or 1 amp, and it's a 500 milliamp hour battery, so 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I think you get like 3 full charges out of it, which is pretty good. Well, I say 3 full charges, 3 full enough charges. It doesn't go to 100%. It goes to about 91, I think, is the maximum I've got it to. It doesn't quite charge it 100%, but it charges it enough. But it also does take longer than if you were doing it on standard USB charger action through AC power. But these are fantastic, and these are like 20 quid, I think I paid for this on Amazon. Pebble charger. So you can get all sorts of different ones. You can even get ones that actually have, like, you can put AA batteries in there, so if you want to spend tons of money on AAA batteries, you can do that as well. Or maybe you've got some N-loop batteries or something like that you want to chuck in there, you can do that. But yeah, emergency power, there's tons of ways of getting it. I try and steer clear of the 1-yet ones because they're just crap. They're really rubbish. I mean, like, you can get them and they're fine if the shit really hits the fan and all the batteries are dead and there's like a zombie apocalypse and you just can't do anything. Then yes, fair enough. Like a wind-up battery, a wind-up radio is going to be fine, or something like that you can charge stuff off of. But as a long-term thing, you don't really want to do it because it'll, you know, give you wanker's cramp trying to wind it up. It's just not worth bothering with. So in the UK, we don't really have to worry about it. I mean, I always do make an effort at trying to make sure my batteries are always charged up when I leave the house, so that if shit hits the fan, I'm not stuck somewhere where I haven't got battery. I always try and take, if I'm going like somewhere out in the wilderness, I'll try and take a spare phone and a couple of spare batteries for both phones I'm taking, because I know a lot of people say, well, it's a bit overkill, but I like to be prepared. That is a scout motto, and as a scout leader I should be leading by that. But I also like the fact that if I'm out in the sticks and I get in the shit, I've always got that there just in case. These weigh not very much. I mean, yeah, okay, by the time you times it by 5 they do weigh quite a bit, but they're really thin. And these cost, well, I mean, spare batteries for Samsungs, you can get unofficial ones for £5, like the dodgy Chinese knockoff ones. You get official OEM ones for like about 15-20 quid, something like that, which still isn't bad. I know when I bought ones from a HTC, they were about £8 a go, which wasn't bad, and they was official HTC ones. They were brilliant. I mean, they were OEM ones, they didn't come in a retail box, but I mean, bloody good price. And so I bought tons of them, and I've always done that with Android phones. Annoyingly, with iPhones, obviously you can't do that. The thing you can do, obviously, you can buy external power sources, so things like cases that allow you to have extended power, which is really quite good. But I do try and make the effort to make sure every outlet in my house has got USB power on. I've got these little USB power adapters. I've got these little USB power adapters, which are really helpful. They're Belkin, I think Belkin make them. I've also got one by my desk, which is over there, which gives me 4 socket outlets. It's also surge protected as well, and also it gives me 2 USB power. Unfortunately, you can't quite charge an iPad off of it or a tablet off of it, but you can charge smartphones and anything that runs off USB, even including a Raspberry Pi, which is quite handy and quite cool. So yeah, emergency power is just one of those things. You can buy just pretty much anything, really, loads of stuff around about. You can get most of these things on Amazon. I'll actually put links in the description below whether you can get public chargers and where you can get one of these Belkin things, which are really quite cool. Quite a bit, they're a bit dear, but they're worth having. I'd chuck them in pretty much any electrical outlet they cost. I think these cost about £7. But anyway, I think I shall leave it there. IP5 video coming this weekend and Galaxy S3 video coming later this week. I'll try and do a Let's Play as well, but I don't know about that. Apart from that, I shall catch you in a later video.